for Weston. Where's Weston?
That's a good question. He didn't show up today. I wonder where he's at.
Me too.
Maybe he's out and about without Lainey.
Wait, without?
Yeah. Let's go see. Weston?
Hey Lifepoint kids, it's Weston here. Sorry I'm not in the studio today, but Tyler, you look good in that jacket, buddy. Thanks for filling in for me. Today, out and about without Lainey. We're gonna change that name. Let's call it like, I don't know, doing stuff. That sounds cool. Anyway, I got Mason with me, my son. Today we're gonna do a Chinese fire drill. Why is it called a Chinese fire drill? I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. That's just what I known it to be as I grew up. Anyway, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get in the truck, Mason's gonna get behind me. We are going to open our doors, run around the truck, get back in, close the door. Whoever closes the door first is the winner. Are you ready, Mason? Let's rock and roll. All right. No! That was way too close. I almost lost that one. But hey, that was a good job. Don't do that at a traffic stoplight or in a moving vehicle, obviously, or without your parents' permission. Challenge your parents. I bet you can beat them. See you guys.
Well, that's where Weston was.
Well, yeah.
I think that was probably fun.
Yeah, that looked like fun.
Yeah. Not as much fun as being here with me though, right?
Yeah, totally.
Totally. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, so Weston has a lot going on, with football season, him being a football coach. So I don't know how often he'll get to be in here with me for the show, but I'm sure that he will make an appearance every single week. Yeah. But you know what we should do now?
Oh, right.
Yeah, we should check in with our kids. Hey kids,
What's she doing?
All right, first we have Logan, and it looks like Logan is in a great big hamster wheel on top of water. Do you have one of those?
A floating hamster wheel?
It must be. There's no other
I
explanation.
don't think Logan is a hamster either.
Someone should tell him that.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Oh, here we have Owen holding an alligator.
Yeah.
So shocked that his hair is standing straight up.
Yes, but he doesn't look scared. He looks tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably because it's got tape around its mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next we have Brex. And Brex is just being adorable, as always, because she's super adorable.
And Karsin at surfing school. Well, I just got back from Florida. I should have tried that when I was in Florida.
Yeah. Did you go to the beach?
Yeah. I fought the waves.
Fought the waves.
I had a boxing match with them.
Cool. Did you win?
I think so.
Okay.
But one wave on the first day just took me out. One punch.
One punch. All right, next we have Kinsley, and it looks like Kinsley, she's riding a shark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Good job, Kinsley. I've not done that before.
Yeah, me either.
No sharks?
And we have Lainey. Sorry.
No.
Laylee.
Laylee. Yes.
Laylee. She has her boogie board. I think she's been fighting those waves.
She looks like she must have went to Florida too or something. Everybody's going to Florida but me. What's up with that? Somebody take me to Florida.
I should have took you.
You should have. I'm a little disappointed.
But we didn't have enough seats.
Otherwise I would have been there. Yeah. Okay. And then next we have Lily Rodenberg. I think she climbed a mountain. There's no other explanation. It must have been a mountain. Yeah. Good job, Lily.
I don't think I've ever done that.
I bet her mom took that picture because she's at the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah.
Probably didn't want to go up there to take the picture, so she just stayed at the bottom.
Yeah.
Right, Carrie? Yeah. And then next we have David. This is David, who lives in Haiti, who watches the Yet to Be Named show. We got a picture from his grandpa. Isn't he a handsome little feller? I really like his red tie.
Me
a
too.
lot. Actually, I'm kind of hoping that we get some more pictures of David of what you doing, because I'm really excited to see him. And if you're watching, David, hello from America. All right. Well, you know what? I'm impressed with the number of kids that turned in their homework.
Me too.
Do you know who didn't turn in their homework? This guy. I didn't see any pictures of him.
Oopsie.
Oopsie. He went to
never saw
Florida.
any pictures. Yeah, I didn't. I took no pictures.
I
I do
bet.
have a YouTube channel though that I'm editing my videos at.
Okay. Well, we'll look for that. We'll look for that. All right. So, Tyler, is there anything exciting coming up in your
Well,
world?
school's starting.
School's starting. That's a good thing, right? You like school?
Well, now, because now I know how much time it takes and how boring it is to not do anything.
Yeah. It's more fun to be at school and learn. Do you think that God has a purpose for you at school?
Probably.
I bet he does. Yep. You know who else God had purpose for? Besides everybody else in the world. Esther. Do you know anything about Esther?
Well, there are 3 major parts that I know about.
That was fast.
There, she is a Jew.
Mm-hmm.
She was in a beauty pageant, and she became queen.
Very good. And she was married to a king, hence the fact that she was a queen. And that king's name, I'm going to spell it because it's really hard
To pronounce it?
pronounce it. Yeah, I'm going to that's an X. You see it, kids? It's funny looking X. It's really hard to remember. That is the king's name.
Is Esther?
Yeah, it's definitely sounded out X or X's. King X or X's, probably. Do you think that's right?
I don't know, maybe.
Probably not. You know what? Our co-director is going to sound it out for us.
Xerxes.
Oh,
So that's-
Xerxes.
Xerxes.
Xerxes. So basically what we said.
Yeah.
Yeah. King Xerxes was her husband. That's pretty much all that I know. Maybe we should check in with Amy to learn something else about Esther. You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do something about something.
Yeah, with Amy.
Back to you.
Good morning, boys and girls. If you were with us last week, you remember how we've talked about creation, how God created everything, and He created you, and He created me, and He created us in His image. Well, this week we're going to talk about how God created us with a purpose, with a plan. Before we were ever even born, He has a plan He wants us to execute. Well, you might not know what that plan is just yet, and that's okay, because our story today that's in the Bible is about a girl who didn't know what her plan was either until God finally revealed it to her. Well, this week we're going to talk about Esther. She comes from the book of Esther in the Old Testament. And how the story goes is before Jesus ever came to earth, about 470 years, there was a king. His name was King Xerxes, and he was the king of all of Persia. And there lived Persians there, and there lived Jews there, but he was the king over everyone. Now, King Xerxes decided he is going to have a party. And on the very last day of his party, he decides to have his Queen Vashti, I think is how you pronounce her name, come out so that he can show everyone just how beautiful she is. Well, the queen, when he summoned her, she said, "No, I'm not coming." And this made him mad, and he decided he's going to remove King Vashti from queen. Well, now King Xerxes now needs a new queen. So he decides to hold a pageant. He's going to have all of the beautiful single women in Persia come to his castle so that he can pick which one is going to be the next queen. Now, in the kingdom of Persia lived a woman named Esther. Esther was beautiful, and she was simple, and she was just, she loved the Lord. She was a Jew, and she was being raised by her cousin Mordecai because both of her parents had been killed. So on the day that the women are summoned to the castle, Esther gets invited as well, and Mordecai tells her, don't tell anyone that you're a Jew. And so she keeps this secret from King Xerxes. Well, the pageant goes on, and King Xerxes ends up picking Esther to be his next queen. So here we've got King Xerxes marries Queen Esther, and she is now a queen of Persia, but she has yet to tell him that she is a Jew. Sometime later, Queen Esther is talking to Mordecai outside of the gates. Now Mordecai had just overheard two of King Xerxes' guards talking about how they're planning to kill the king. This is bad. So Mordecai tells Esther, and Esther has to go to the king, and she tells him what the plan is. And so the king takes care of it, but he also is so honored by the fact that Mordecai stepped up and he protected the king's life. After that, there was Haman, the king's second in command. So he's basically just right underneath the king. He's over all of the king's army. Now Haman's not a very nice man, and he actually is coming inside the gates one day, and all of the people are expected to bow to Haman, except for Mordecai. Mordecai doesn't bow because Mordecai worships God, and he is not going to worship man. So Mordecai doesn't bow to King Haman, or to Haman, not king, but to Haman. He doesn't bow to him, and this makes Haman so mad. So Haman decides he's going to make a law. He's going to create an order for all of the Jews in Persia to be murdered, to be killed. And this comes to Mordecai. He finds out about it, and he tells Esther, Queen Esther, they're planning to kill all of your people. All of the Jews are about to be killed in Persia. And so Esther is so troubled by this, but she knows she can't go to King Xerxes on her own without being summoned, or she might too be in trouble by the king. So she's got to come up with a plan to figure out how to go to the king. And remember, she hasn't told him yet that she's a Jew. So the queen decides that she's going to have a party, or she's going to have a feast, and she invites King Xerxes and Haman to come to her feast, and they're very obliged to come. So they come to the first feast, and King Xerxes is like, my queen, what is it you wish? Just tell me what you wish. I'll give you anything that you ask for, even up to half of my kingdom. And Queen Esther says, I desire for you to come back one more time for a feast. I plan to have a feast for you again, and I want you and Haman to come back to it, and there I will answer your question. So King Xerxes and Haman leaves, and as Haman's leaving, he walks past the gate and he sees Mordecai, and he is so mad. He's reminded how much he hates Mordecai because he didn't bow to him. So Haman decides he's going to have a big, huge wooden gallows built. A gallows is something they would hang people from back then, and he's going to have it built so that the next day he can murder, or he can hang Mordecai. And while this is going on, King Xerxes over here, he's trying to go to bed. He can't sleep. So he summons to have the records of the kingdom brought to him, and he asks to have them read. So King Xerxes is listening to the records, and it comes to Mordecai, where Mordecai, remember, he saved the king's life by telling about the plan to kill him. It comes to that, and he says, well, what have we done to honor Mordecai? Have we done anything to thank him for saving the king? And no, we haven't done anything. So he's reminded of this. So the next day, he calls in Haman, and he says, Haman, I need your help. I'm trying to figure out how to honor one of my most favorable men. What should I do? Obviously, Haman is thinking that King Xerxes is talking about him. So he says, I think you should put on your king's robe and put on your crown on top of the man, and you should put him on top of your best horse, and you should parade him through the town of Persia so that everyone knows he is favored by the king. And that's exactly what King Xerxes did. He thought that was a great idea. So he tells Haman, I want you to go get Mordecai, and that's what I want you to do. And in fact, I want you to parade him through the town, leading the horse. I'm sure this infuriated Haman even more, because now he has to take the one man he is so mad at that he's planning to kill, and he has to parade him through Persia as though he is honored by the king. So this takes place, and after this, Haman and King Xerxes go back to Esther's place, and they have dinner with her again. And it is there where King Xerxes says, my queen, what is it that you wish? Please just tell me what you wish. I will give you anything you ask for, all the way up to half of my kingdom. And this is where Queen Esther, she is just broken. And she says, King Xerxes, my people are in trouble. I am not a Persian, I am a Jew, and my Jewish people are in danger. A law has been made to kill all the Jews in Persia. And this makes Xerxes mad. King Xerxes gets so mad. He's like, who in the world would do this? Who would endanger my queen? And she says, Haman, Haman has done this. In fact, he has built a gallows so that he can kill Mordecai, the one man who saved the king's life. Haman has planned all of this. King Xerxes says, then Haman shall be hung from that gallows in place of Mordecai. And this is what happened. So boys and girls, Queen Esther didn't know her plan. She didn't know why God made her queen, but it was in that moment she knew. God put her as queen so that she could save her Jewish people. She could save God's people. Now, I'm not saying that you or me or any of us are going to ever one day become a king or a queen and save all of God's people, but God has a plan for you, and you might not know what it is yet. That's okay. Just keep seeking Him and seeking yourself. What is it that you love? What is it that you desire, makes you happy? Those are some things that are going to be clues for you to help discover one day when God shows you what your plan is. And boys and girls, I pray that just like Esther, you will have the courage to carry out God's plan. Now, that's all I've got for you this week. I'll see you next time.
That's something.
About something.
I learned something.
Me too.
That's good.
Yeah.
What'd you learn? That's okay. Everybody learned something. We know it. We know it.
We don't need a recap.
We don't need to recap it. You just saw it. There's no point to recap it.
Yeah.
About Esther.
Yeah.
Learned about Esther. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Well, we're at the end of our show, which means it's time to draw names for our prizes for our winners. We're gonna see the winners that got prizes this week. You'll see those pictures after the show. There we go. All right. Squeezed. Let me just pull this random stuff out of it. It's not a trash can. I've got to tell people that it's not a trash can. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna draw one name, you're gonna draw one name, and then we're gonna say what those names are. Go for it. Here. My turn. What color is yours? Blue. His is blue and mine is green. All right, why don't you tell them who you got?
I have Kaylee.
Kaylee! Yay, you won, Kaylee! I'm so excited. And I got Chloe. Kaylee and Chloe. Oh, I'll be seeing you guys soon. Right? Me?
I hope so.
I will. I'll be seeing you girls soon. Congratulations, girls, on winning this week's prize. All right, well, that's it. That's all I got. You got anything else you want to add, Tyler? Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like blast doing the YTBN show, isn't it? Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll see you next week. We will see you next week. I hope you have a great week, and that's the end of our show. So we'll see you next week on the
Yet to be named.
YTBN show.